Okay. Good evening, group members. Hope you're doing well. We're going to start the solution-focused question phase, round robin style. And Badia, you are the presenter for this evening. So, hello. Let's start with question number 1.
Good evening, Badia.
Good evening.
What are your best hopes for this consultation?
I really just want to get other people's perspective on the issue. I would like to get to the core of the root causes of mass shootings, but I know that's not going to be something that's going to occur tonight, but it's part of my overall mission.
Thank you.
So, I noticed you were talking about a couple of children that you interact with. What's your best hope for them, or is it a broader hope for the school?
It's both.
Okay. So, what's your best hope for both?
For the children, my best hope is that they get the help that they truly need and they're not overlooked by any system. For the faculty and other people at the school, other students, my best hope for them is their safety. And on a macro level, my best hope is that we can get to the root cause of mass shooting and begin to see some real change.
Okay. Now you're talking about, you said you hope they get the help they need as far as just, I know psychologically is what you think, and mentally is that's their problem. But as far as just changing their thought pattern or their thought process, because I noticed that there are a lot of them have, you were saying that they have evil thoughts, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, disturbing to say the least.
Yeah.
So I just think that a lot of the times they're overlooked.
Okay.
They're dismissed, and I think those things that they say and do should be really seen as red flags.
Yeah, because the guy in Florida, right? He had red flags all day and he was missed. Okay, cool.
Right, but then people act surprised, like little Johnny was so nice and quiet. Like I think the signs were there that they just got overlooked.
Yes. Thank you.
So suppose that your best hopes for the children and the faculty or students are realized. What do you think will be different?
Maybe they would know how to process their thoughts differently. Like Marie said, they would have different thought processes. They would have more empathy for others, even themselves. I think there's a lot of self-hate maybe going on internally with them.
What else do you think will be different?
Safety, definitely. If my best hopes were realized, staff, faculty, other students, they can come to school feeling safe, you know.
Can I actually, can I intervene? I'm sorry, sir. On that point, I just didn't want, I'm sorry, sir. Do the faculty feel unsafe?
I do.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, sir. I just confused.
It's kind of a difficult topic for, it seems like, some of the other faculty. But I know that in counseling the students, they're definitely open about how unsafe they feel.
What do you think the clients or students would notice?
They would probably notice some behavior changes in the students / clients that I was referring to. And then overall, like I said, on a macro level, there may be like less mass shootings statistically over time, hopefully.
What will others that are involved notice when the best hopes are realized?
Oh, I think I just answered that one. There would be less mass shootings overall.
Okay. Thanks.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 stands for you reaching your goal, where would you say that you are now?
I'm really a 3.
And what makes you say that?
I don't know. I feel like there's 1 is too low, 5 is too high. So,
Yeah. Is there a difference between a 2 and a 3? Like what makes you at a 3 rather than at a 2?
I think because the fact that they are coming to Student Support Center to get some sort of counseling, even if it is only 30 minutes a week, plus they also have outside therapy. I don't know how long they attend that, but there's some help. I just don't think it's reaching them on the level they need to be reached.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's just my opinion.
And where would you like to be ideally on that scale?
I don't think a 10 is being perfection. I don't think that's ever possible. There's always going to be kids that have these sort of distorted thoughts, but I think we can change the way we approach them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess an 8 or a 9.
Yeah. And so what do you think you need to do in order to make that next step up to a 4 on a scale?
I'm not really sure, and that's why I wanted to present this, because I feel like even when I try to bring this to the attention of the other social workers at the school, they dismiss it really and don't think it's anything to worry about. And I don't know if that's just because they've been a school social worker for a long time or they're really just overlooking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are you already doing that you think is on track?
Really trying to reach these 2 kids, especially on their level, to try to understand what's behind their interest in the topics that they talk to me about, what's really driving them.
And how are you being trauma informed?
I offer them a safe place to talk. I'm pretty transparent. I'm there to offer empathy and support and really try to understand them, because I don't think they feel like they're understood that much.
And what else are you doing that is on track?
Trying to warn people.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are the clients doing? I know you said a couple of things, and your number was a 3. What are the clients doing to make you think that they're on track or they're trying to complete a task?
It's more like what they're doing to make me think they're not on track. So I don't really know how to answer that.
Oh, wow.
At this point, there's so much unknown that I haven't got to that point. And I think that's why I'm at a 3, too.
So they're not receptive at all, is what you're saying? Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
What is the next small step?
Hopefully to have more tools and skills as a result of experience and practice to continue to probe and to connect them with the resources that they really and truly need without just throwing them off to different systems.
Right. How do you think that will be helpful?
I think a lot of times kids' voices aren't heard the way we think that they're hearing us. Like kids don't feel as understood as we think they feel. So I think not being just passed the buck from this person to that person and really taking the time to understand what's going on in their head would go a long way to helping them and to saving everyone else.
Okay.
So is there anything else you haven't mentioned about the case that you'd like to?
Not really. I just think that, I mean, I mentioned 2 students, but I really think there's a whole lot more. And I get that from the other students that I counsel who tell me to stereotype some of the kids that they tell me about. It's obvious that it's more than these 2 that I'm talking about. It's a way bigger problem. That's it.
So now we're going to thank you, Vidya, for answering all those questions. We're going to be entering the wonderment phase. And at this point, we're going to ask that you step away from the camera or turn off the camera. And the group will enter into the wonderment questions. Okay, group, do you want to go down the same list that we started off with?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I wonder if the school, meaning the faculty, the administration, the staff, has thought about ways of instituting a kind of group counseling throughout the school that will allow students the opportunity to vent, get their frustrations out, express what's on their mind and their concerns in a way that is apart from an IEP process, in a way that normalizes, we get things off our chest, we talk, we express, we help one another, instead of making it a stigmatizing, oh, you have to go in that office and talk to those people, and the rest of us don't do that.
Okay, I wonder. I wonder a couple of things. I wonder if because of this mass hysteria that's going on in our country right now, maybe their problems are being inflamed. So the fear that these people are fearing, are feeling, maybe it's because of what everything else is going around. They fear this internally because of what's happening in our nation, and maybe they're labeling these people, these children, as shooters before they even begin to shoot. And I can see why that happens, but that's what I want. Another thing I wonder if there's any trauma associated with these students in their past, and if I wonder if somehow they can communicate with the parents if they're not, to try to come up with a different intervention if this is not working.
I was also wondering if maybe because of everything that's in the media right now, that there is a lot of fear in schools and workplaces and things like that. So I'm wondering if that's part of it, is that people are kind of hyper aware of people who might be a little different from them. And then also wondering if maybe the school has like anti-bullying campaigns or things like that, that maybe these kids are being targeted in other ways, that they're trying to express themselves, like drawing pictures and things like that, that maybe there's something more behind it.
Yes. Good wonderment.
So I wonder if the school has any policies on like talking about guns. That sounds kind of crazy even, but I work in a preschool and we try to not even let them talk about guns. So I wonder what schools do about that once the kids get older, if they entertain conversations about that or kind of try to shut them down. And I also wonder if the opportunity exists in the school for the organization of some sort of like student-led group that might try to address some of this stuff like social inclusion or whatever.
I wonder if the school has thought about bringing together, first of all, finding out how many people that work there, employees, are as concerned as our classmate is, and moving from that concern to let's come together and see how we might problem solve, as opposed to just discussing how concerned everyone is. Well, bring everyone together, their expertise, their knowledge of students, and see what the community of professionals can come up with to address the issue. It seems like the awareness of the concern is being expressed, but I don't necessarily, I wonder if a desire to come together to try to strategize solutions could happen.
Yeah, Jerry, I too wonder that. I mean, I wonder if the DA has been able to speak to faculty about partnering with an outside agency to come in to educate, empower, and support the youth, given what's happening in the country, right?
Yes.
Are there any more wonderments? Anything? Anybody else want to add?
I have one thing. Going kind of off of what you said, is I wonder if they're like empowering or basically like promoting kids, like not to point out kids that are alarming them maybe, but letting them know that it's okay, like if you notice something's wrong, to bring it to somebody's attention, not just ignore it or be scared and not want to talk about it, but bring it to a teacher or some sort of faculty. Like I wonder if the kids feel comfortable doing that.
Right. Yeah.
Indeed.
So does anybody have anything else to add to the wonderment phase? So, Bade, if we can have you return back to the group. And now we're going to go into the compliment phase. And perhaps we'll do the same order. I think I will start. I think you're doing an amazing job. You're very committed to the school and the children. And you were talking about looking for tools and resources outside of the faculty in the school to support these students, I think your commitment level is really great, and you've got really good insight into what these kids are really struggling with. You're very trauma informed in that way. I think that's an amazing skill that you have.
Badia, as someone who works in education myself, I am deeply impressed with the commitment that you're showing to the personal well-being of these students. So often in this field, there can be a burnout which results in a level of concern, but there's a line that is drawn that then it's beyond that line. Well, I'm going to trust that the system will catch it if there's a problem. I'm going to trust that the parents will notice if there's a problem. I'm going to trust that a fellow student will notice if there's a problem, but it's not my problem. You have no line there. That is truly a person who cares, that is truly someone that is living social work values, and I'm just so proud to know you.
Thanks, Jerry.
But yeah, I must say, I am impressed with your candidacy, your honesty. Say, you know, some people might inflame some of them numbers. You said I'm a 3, and that's where I'm at, and I don't know where to go. We might not want to feel hopeless when we're talking in a group, you know. But you were honest, and with your numbers, and you were honest. You were being vulnerable because you allowed us to actually understand what you were feeling inside, how you was feeling hopeless when it came to try to solve these issues with these students and for the school and safety concerns of the community. And I applaud you on that. A lot of people, they can't do that. You know, we might carry this persona as superhuman sometimes, and that can affect us all, because then we won't really get to the bottom, the root cause of the problem. So kudos for being honest.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also impressed by that as well. I'm sure it's hard to feel like you're a 3 and feel like you're kind of stuck, and it's a really difficult topic, I think, especially because it's in the media so much, and I think a lot of people kind of shy away from talking about it. So I think it's really important that you're bringing it up and that you're recognizing that it is a problem. Because ultimately, like, it can affect the students, it can affect the staff. Like, if people aren't feeling safe at school, that's really scary. So I think it's good that it's something you're focused on, and you can tell that you're passionate about it.
Yeah, I really admire that you're taking this issue that is like right in the forefront of everything right now, and like kind of battling it on the front line, and like working at its root. I mean, of course, there's the whole gun control thing, but on the other hand of it, there's this like underlying need to pay attention to students and what they're feeling and what they're experiencing. And I think you're really doing that, and that's super important and awesome.
All right, Infinity Group members, do we have anything else to add to that?
Thank you all for your compliments.
We're going to be entering the debriefing phase. So maybe Bia, we'll start with you. So how was this for you? How was this whole?
I think when you guys were talking about the wonderment, there were some things that I hadn't thought of before. One thing that I wanted to clarify was that I had these students before the whole mass shooting hysteria occurred in the country. I know it's been ongoing for a while now, but it was before the most recent one. And then after the most recent one is when I was like, and here we have two kids that are probably crying out for help, and we're not really paying as much attention as we should. So this was really helpful for me tonight.
Excellent. I'm glad. And group, what worked for you today?
What worked for me is on the topic of the presentation, it made me reflect on my own situation at the school I work at. So it was very relevant personally, as well as we've had commentary about what's going on in the country. It's just a reflection of what can we, as people who are studying and will soon be entering the field, how can we contribute to making the world a more peaceful place? And there's things in this example that we can start doing right now. And as difficult and frightening as this topic can be, I found the conversation and some of the strategies that we talked about very encouraging.
Thank you, Jerry.
For me, I feel thankful for being part of, because I feel like it's okay to be hopeless sometimes, right? It's okay to feel like we're in a bind. We don't have the answers. It's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to say, please, just send out that red flag, that signal that says, help me. I need help here. Because sometimes, as social workers, I think that we approach different situations thinking that we have the answers. And sometimes we just don't have the answers. And it's okay to say, I don't have it. Can you please help me? So, Padilla, thank you for that. I understand it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to be helpless sometimes and reach out for help. So it was very helpful to me. So I'm gonna take off my cape.
Yeah, I think that this topic in particular is really helpful. I work in a nursing home, and we actually just did an active shooter drill.
Wow.
Which isn't something I've ever experienced. So, I mean, people were joking like, oh, if this happens, I'm going to hide over here, which it's not funny, but it's not something I ever imagined having to be trained on. But I'm glad that we were as a facility, but I think we get caught in, it'll never happen to us. It won't happen here, things like that. So I think that this topic it's pretty scary. So I think it was really helpful to have this brought up today.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in a similar situation as you, Jerry, where I work in a school, and I work with preschoolers, and like the amount that these kids play guns and talk about guns is crazy. And I more and more recently have been finding myself like thinking about some of these same questions, and especially in kids so young, like how to address it. So I thought it was good that we talked about all this stuff because it's just so important to be thinking about.
Hey, this is a very tough topic, and I think as a group we're really supportive with one another, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the tough topic that you had to talk about today, Badea, and just just as a facilitator, taking a step back and listening to the wonderments and the compliments. Like, I really think that we are really a tight, cohesive group. We collaborate and work well. Thank you, Jerry and Sarah, for saving the day. But yeah, I really appreciate each and every one of you, and this was intense. This is a good topic to think about. Does anybody have anything else to add to the debriefing phase? Okay, well, I wish you all a wonderful evening. Jerry, if you want to turn it off, the live part.